So yesterday, am I audible? Please.
Audible, sir.
Okay. Now, so yesterday we started with something called the noise in analog systems. Okay. So, or we can simply call it as a the effect of noise in our communication system. That is what we are going to study. Okay. So, in the unit one, we did not consider the effect of noise. We have simply seen how to modulate, how to demodulate. But so there will be a noise that is getting added in the channel. Okay, so nobody can remove the noise completely. It will be there always. It is omnipresent. It is present everywhere. Okay, now so this is the basic block diagram of a complete communication system. I'm taking all possible blocks. So transmitter, receiver, channel. These are the blocks that will be present in the any communication system. Now transmitter, what do we do in the transmitter? We modulate the signal. Receiver, we do demodulation. So we have studied how to modulate, how to demodulate various kinds of schemes. Now, so in the channel, noise is getting added. So noise is nothing but unwanted signal. We know already, or it is undesirable signal. It is some kind of disturbance. Okay. Now here, so we deal with powers always. Okay. So at the receiver, to the input side we have two powers. Output side we have two powers. What powers? Signal powers and noise powers. Now, so the job of the receiver is to minimize the effect of noise, or it has to eliminate the noise. At least it has to minimize the effect of noise on the message signal. So that is a true behavior of a receiver. A good receiver will always minimize the effect of noise on our message signal. Okay. Okay. So this is about noise. A noise will be a random variable because it is unpredictable. Nobody can say that. So this much noise will be added at this point of time. Okay. So it varies from point to point and from time to time. So that is the true nature of a noise, which is a random in nature. Now, as I told you already, so there will be a noise from the transmitter part as well as from the receiver part. But we put entire blame on the channel itself, as if it is adding all the noise. But so in general, so there will be noise in the transmitter part, in the receiver part. But so most of the noise is from the channel. Anyway, so let us proceed. These are the some parameters. Now, so this is a special case where I have taken a receiver to be a ideal low pass filter having a bandwidth W. So these are the concepts of random process. I request everyone to go through the random process concept of PTSP. So this is a power spectral density which is eta by 2, or sometimes they are called n0 by 2 also. Okay. So since n0 is already given to the output noise power, so that's why I'm not writing n0 for the power spectral density. Please don't get confused here. So here already we have used n0 for what? Output noise power at the receiver. So that's why I'm writing eta for the PSD. Anyway, eta by 2 for all frequencies. It is something like a constant. Is a constant. Eta by 2 is a constant for all frequencies. Now this is for all frequencies. Now what is the autocorrelation function? Inverse Fourier transform of PSD. So eta by 2 delta of tau. Why tau? So all those things are from the concept of wide sense stationary random process. You go through these ones, please. Now autocorrelation function and power spectral density are Fourier transform pairs, which means if you take the Fourier transform to ACF, you get PSD and vice versa, which means if you take inverse Fourier transform of PSD, you get ACF. Now this is ideal low pass filter. This is nothing but a receiver in this case. Now, so what is the output PSD? Input PSD into the transfer function whole square. Okay. Now this is HD of f, whole square of this is still same. Do you agree or not? Okay. So that's why this into eta by 2. Eta by 2 is from for all frequencies, but it is from only minus W2 plus W. So that's why output PSD will be minus W2 plus W eta by 2. It is something like multiplying constant with the low pass filter. So this is the output PSD. You know already How to get power? Area under PSD. Now output noise power equal to area under output PSD. Output noise PSD. So what is the area under this curve? This is a rectangle, area, length into breadth. So eta by 2 into 2W. So that is eta into W. Okay. So that is the noise power at the output of the receiver. Okay. Now, so this is something very, very important. That is SNR. So that is signal power to noise power. As I told you already, we always take relative power ratio. Okay. So ideally we want noise power to be 0. If it is so, SNR will be infinity, but that is practically not possible. Ideally it should be infinity, but practically it is not possible. But as engineers, we always try to improve the SNR. So we should get SNR as maximum as possible. Okay. Now this is a benchmark SNR. So that is input signal power by eta into W. Okay, that is called gamma. It is called input SNR or baseband SNR. So baseband SNR means what? A baseband signal transmitting without modulation. You know already. Actually, if you do modulation, the baseband becomes passband. If I say baseband means that is without modulation. Okay. Anyway, so this is what benchmark. We always compare SNR of every other system with this gamma. What is gamma equal to? SI by eta into W. So what is eta? Noise PSD. What is W? Message bandwidth. What is SI? Input signal power or transmitted power of the modulated signal. Okay. So far so good, right? Now, so let us go to the specific modulation schemes. So let us start with DSBSC. You know, DSBSC means double sideband suppressed carrier. So it has got two sidebands without carrier. The bandwidth of DSBSC is 2W, and so this is how we generate DSBSC. This is called as product modulator. So simply we are multiplying a message with a carrier. Here I am taking amplitude of the carrier to be √2. So the reason is well known to you because here I need m of t. Okay. Anyway, so m of t into √2 cos 2 pi f ct. That is what is being generated as a DSBSC signal. Okay. Now, so to that signal, noise is getting added. Now, so before applying that signal to the receiver, we have something called band pass filter with a center frequency FC with a bandwidth 2W. Why bandwidth need to be 2W? Because our DSBSC also having bandwidth 2W. Okay, so that's why we need a band pass filter. Now, so the job of this band pass filter is to pass only this particular DSBSC into the receiver and reject remaining signals mostly. Okay. So that's why, so the center frequency, the bandwidth of this band pass filter are matching with the center frequency and bandwidth of this DSBSC signal also. And not only that, through this band pass filter, this noise also getting passed. Okay. So through this band pass filter, noise is getting passed as well as your DSBSC signal also getting passed. Okay. Now at this output of the band pass filter, so we have two components, that is a signal component as well as noise component. But what is the noise component? So that is what we need to consider. So output of the band pass filter will be a message signal plus noise. This is a message signal plus noise. Noise is Ni of t, but see, please remember here noise is N of t. Okay. But after band pass filter, noise will be Ni of t. Okay. So that is called narrowband noise, which can be written as Nc of t cos omega ct plus Ns of t sin omega ct. Now why I am writing Ni of t like this? Because so if something is in the nature of passband, we can represent as a in-phase component and as a quadrature phase component. But so in the unit 1, we have mentioned if x of t is any passband signal, that can be written as xy of t cos omega ct minus xq of t sin omega ct. Here the sign is different, but so you can take either plus sign or minus sign, there won't be any problem. So Nc of t, Ns of t are notations. Okay, here Nc of t is a in-phase component, Ns of t is a quadrature phase component, because Ni of t is some kind of passband signal. Why is a passband signal? Because it is getting passed through a band pass filter. It is also just like band pass signal. Okay. So before passing through band pass filter, it is n of t which is present over all frequencies. But after passing through band pass filter, the noise is only from the bandwidth of 2W only. Okay. Here we are not considering all the noise that is present in the nature. We are considering noise that is present in the bandwidth of 2W. So that's why. So this is Ni of t. Okay. So this is a noise which is present only from minus W plus W. You can say something like that, or the bandwidth of 2W. Okay. Anyway, so this is standard derivation. I will do it later. Otherwise, you can do on your own. So Ni of 2 bar, Ni square bar, Nc square bar, Ns square bar is equal to 2 eta W. Now, if I say Ni square bar means it represents power in Ni of t. N square bar is nothing but power in Nc of t. N square bar is nothing but power in Ns of t. So the power in Ni of t is same as power in Nc of t is same as power in Ns of t equal to 2 eta W. Okay. So the derivation is some, you can do it on your own. You try it yourself. So we'll try to solve in the next class if possible. Now, so now input to the receiver is signal component as well as noise component. Signal component is what is that? Root 2 m of t cos 2 pi f c t plus this is noise Ni of t that can be further written as Nc of t cos omega c t plus Ns of t sin omega c t. This is noise component and signal component. So the combination of these two is given to the receiver. Now the job of the receiver is to eliminate this component and getting only this component. So the receiver has to demodulate and also should remove the noise. So the main job of the receiver is to demodulate the signal, and not only that, it has to eliminate the noise component, or at least it has to minimize the effect of noise on the message signal. Okay. Now you know already. So what is the power of the signal? Simply, so root 2 m of t whole square by 2. Simply m of t whole square. That can be written as m square bar. M square bar is nothing but power of m of t. Just like N square bar is nothing but power of Ni of t. Nc square bar is nothing but power of Nc of t. In the same way, m square bar equal to power of m of t. So this is we have done this kind of calculations in the unit 1 also, if you remember properly. So I'm not going into details, but this is what we get. So the power of the signal is nothing but m square bar. Simply that is nothing but power of m of t. Okay. So what is the power of this noise component? 2 eta W. 2 eta W. Now here I got two powers at the input side of the receiver. So signal power is m square bar, noise power is 2 eta W. Now we are done with two powers that are present at the input side of the receiver. What are they? Si, Ni. Okay. Now we have to calculate what is S0, what is N0. What are they actually? Powers at the output side of the receiver. Okay. Now, so with the Si, Ni, we can calculate gamma if you want. Okay. Si, Ni we got m square bar by 2 eta W. So please make a note of this point. Now let us go to the receiver. Now what is the output of the receiver? This is what you get. So here I have not done calculations, but so what the output of the receiver will be? So multiply yi of t with what? Multiply yi of t with root 2 cos 2 pi f c t and pass through low pass filter having a bandwidth of W. What do you get? You do some simple calculations. I have not done here. You can do it on your own. So this is what you get. You get m of t plus nc of t by root 2. This is what you get. Now at the output of the receiver also, we have m of t, and along with that we have a noise component, that is nc of t by root 2. Now, so here output of the receiver is containing a signal component as well as noise component. So let us find out two powers. What is the signal power? What is the power of m of t? You know already, m square bar, that is also equal to Si. Please make a note of this. So input signal power equal to output signal power equal to m square bar, that equal to power of m of t. So in this case, so the signal powers at the input of the receiver, at the output of the receiver are equal and they are also equal to m square bar, that equal to power of m of t. Now what is the noise power? Output noise power. So what is the power of this signal? If I say, I told you already, suppose x of t power is p. What is some constant a into x of t power? A square into p. The same way, so we know power of nc of t. How much is that? Nc square bar. I told you already. Now, but here we have 1 by root 2. So it should be 1 by 2. Okay, that is a concept of power. I am not elaborating here, but I hope you are okay with this. Now, you know already from the standard equation, what is nc square bar equal to 2 eta w. Now here I am substituting nc square bar equal to 2 eta w by 2 eta w. Now what is the output SNR? m square bar by eta w. So that is also equal to S naught by N naught equal to S naught equal to SI, but N naught equal to eta w. I am substituting here. That is equal to standard or benchmark SNR, that is gamma. What is gamma equal to? SI by eta omega. Okay. Now this is the output SNR, that equal to gamma in case of DSB SC. Okay. Now let us go to the SSB. So the simple meaning of SSB is you generate DSB-SC, remove any one of the sidebands. Okay, that is actually the broad way of classifying SSB. Are you okay with me or not? Now, so here I have generated DSB-SC. See, here I am using 2. The only reason will be to get M of t at the output of the receiver. Okay, so that would be better for calculating SNR. Why? Because so if a m of t at the output side, simply I can say S naught equal to power in the signal component. Okay. Anyway, so you don't bother about why I'm using root 2 sometimes, 2 sometimes. That is simply for our convenience. That is nothing technical. Okay. Now, so this is what the product modulator which generates DSB-SC, and if you pass through some kind of SSB filter, you get SSB. Okay. After that, I am adding noise. Now here I am using a filter having bandwidth W only. Why? Because here the bandwidth of SSB is W, not 2W. Okay. So here the filter should have a bandwidth of W. That is sufficient for us. Okay. Now this is a demodulation as usual. Okay. So our receiver, this is synchronous receiver or coherent receiver, because the carrier at the modulator side will be exactly same as the local carrier in the receiver part. So everything is exactly similar. Now, so let me go to the these are the standard equations to represent lower sideband or upper sideband. You know all these things. Now I'm taking up. I'm taking what sideband? Lower sideband, because I'm using plus sign. So let us take, this is the SSB signal. Okay. Now, so this is what the yi of t. Okay. You receive SSB signal plus some noise. See, the calculations are exactly similar. You follow them. Okay. So these are the things. But here, so Na square bar, Nc square bar, Ns square bar equal to eta into W only. Why? Because here the bandwidth of SSB is W, not 2W. So same values are, what are they? They are Na square bar equal to Nc square bar equal to Ns square bar equal to 2 eta W, because there in DSB-SC the bandpass filter that we are using before receiver was having a bandwidth of 2W. Okay, so that is the reason. So here it is eta W only. Now, so how to find out the input signal power? The best way is first find out the power of DSB-SC. Now after that make it off. Why? Because so SSB DSB-SC, what is the comparison? SSB and DSB-SC we have 2 sidebands. SSB we are having only 1 sideband. You know already generally sidebands are identical. They're similar. They carry same amount of information and same amount of power also. So that's why. So this is the DSB-SC we are generating 2 m of t cos omega ct, whose power is 2 m square bar. I hope you're okay with these calculations. Now, if the power of DSBSC is 2 into m square bar, what could be the power of SSB half of that? That is m square bar. Okay. Now I am done with power of SSB. Simply, it is very simple now. Okay. Now I got SI, that is power at the input of the receiver, that is m square bar. Now let us go to the noise power. Noise power is eta W. Okay. At the input side, we have signal power is m square bar, noise power is eta W. Okay. So that is the signal power, noise power at the input of the receiver in case of SSB. Now let us go to the yi of t, m of t cos omega ct plus m hat of t sin omega ct plus nc of t cos omega ct plus ns of t sin omega ct. Correct? Now here you can take common terms are cos omega ct, sin omega ct, sin omega ct. Now I am taking cos omega ct common, I am getting m of t plus nc of t. If I take sin omega ct common, I am getting m hat of t plus ns of t. Okay. Now this is applied to the receiver. This is input to the receiver. Am I okay or not? Okay. So here, so what will be the output of receiver? So receiver is what? So input is yi of t. So that is multiplied with 2 cos 2 pi of ct, and after that is being passed through the low pass filter having a bandwidth W. Now what happens? So yi of t is this yi naught of t equal to yi of t. This is yi of t into 2 cos omega ct. What do you get? And after passing through low pass filter, you get m of t plus nc of t. You do simple calculations. So multiply this with this entire term, and after the multiplication, you pass through the result with the low pass filter having a bandwidth W, that is equal to message bandwidth. Now output will be m of t plus nc of t. Okay. Now in the output of the receiver also, we have a signal component m of t and noise component nc of t. Now here also we need to find two powers. What powers? Output signal power. So that is nothing but power of m of t. That is nothing but m square bar. That is also equal to SI, input signal power. Please make a note of this. Now what is the power of nc of t? That is same as nc square bar. That is same as eta into W. That is called n naught. Now what is the output signal power by output noise power? That is m square bar by eta omega. That is also equal to SI by eta omega. That is equal to gamma. Okay. Now it is here also output SNR equal to gamma, that equal to SI by eta W. Now what you got in case of DSBSC? It is same. Okay. Now so far so good. Any doubts, please? So if you have any doubts, please ask now itself. So if there are no doubts, let us proceed further. Okay. Any doubts? At least you can message me. Okay. Right. So I assume that you understood everything properly, and I'm moving further. Okay. Now in case of VSB, I don't do all calculations because VSB is similar to the or approximately SSB only. The only difference will be, what are those differences? It has got some more bandwidth. That's it. It may use some more power. Okay. So VSB uses some more power, some slightly more transmitter power, slightly more bandwidth. You know all these things already. That's why I am going with the approximations. So for SSB, this is the case. Approximately that will be applicable to the DSB also. S naught by N naught approximately equal to m square bar by eta omega, approximately equal to SA by eta omega, approximately equal to gamma. I am now doing all calculations again because SSB, VSB, there will be a small differences. What are they? In VSB, we need slightly more bandwidth compared to SSB, and we need slightly more transmitted power compared to SSB. So more or less, I can assume that. So all the calculations that we have done for SSB are valid for VSB also, but you can make a approximated signals. Or that's why I'm writing in case of VSB, S naught by N naught approximately equal to m square bar by eta omega, approximately equal to SI by 8 omega approximately equal to gamma. Okay, so there is no need to go for all calculations for VSB because it is somewhat similar with some minor changes. Okay. Now, so we have done for noise calculations in the case of DSBSC, SSB, BSB. So in the different varieties of amplitude modulations, the only left out thing is noise performance of AM. Okay. Now here, so let us see how the noise affects amplitude modulation. Okay. Now, so M of T, AM generator. Okay. So this is a modulator part. Now this is a noise which is adding some noise. This is channel which is adding some noise to the transmitted signal. Now this is again a band pass filter with the center frequency fc, bandwidth 2W again. Why? Because here my AM signal also having a bandwidth 2W. Now this band pass filter passes my AM signal through it and it may reject some other unwanted signals. Okay. See, every receiver, before every receiver, there will be some filters and some amplifiers. I told you in the case of super heterodyne receiver. Okay, there also before demodulator, there are some other components, some kind of filters, amplifiers, some sort of signals were there. They are called front end of the receiver. They are also very important, without which a receiver won't work properly. Because so you simply assume like that you have a mobile. Okay, so if someone makes a call to you, you should receive that particular call only. See, everything happens wirelessly, no? So in your mobile, there will be so many signals present, but your mobile has to select only particular signal. Okay, so every time you may talk to only one person. Generally, you cannot talk to so many person at the same time. I'm talking in generally, so don't go for conference call. That is different issue actually. Okay, so how it happens? So there must be some filtering system which selects only particular signal at a time. Okay, so that's why these filters are very essential for a proper reception. Okay, now so here I'm using a band pass filter having a center frequency fc, bandwidth 2W. Why I'm using band pass filter? Because after modulation a baseband becomes passband. Passband is something like band pass signal. I told you already. That's why I'm using a band pass filter with a center frequency fc with a bandwidth that is equal to bandwidth of your modulated signal. So the logic will be similar to the DSBSC, SSB, BSB. So if you remember properly, in SSB we have used a band pass filter with a center frequency fc with the bandwidth only W, because there the bandwidth of our SSB signal is W only, not 2W. Okay, so please change the parameters of this band pass filter according to the modulated signal. Okay, anyway, so this is the receiver, you know already. So AM will be demodulated by ED and pass it through low pass filter. So this is the receiver. Now, so let us go for the calculations. Now this is the AM signal. I am taking AM signal for a what? Single tone modulation, or if M of t equal to AM cos 2 pi FMT, what will be the modulated signal? Now that equal to AC into 1 plus mu cos 2 pi FMT into cos omega CT. So this is the AM equation if M of t happen to be AM cos 2 pi FMT. Mu is called modulation index. Now, so let us take AC equal to 1. Okay, so input to the receiver is signal component plus noise component. 1 plus mu cos signal component is nothing but what? S of t plus Ni of t. What is S of t? AC into 1 plus mu cos 2 pi FMT into cos omega CT. I am replacing same thing here, plus Ni of t equal to Nc of t cos omega CT plus Ns of t sin omega CT. So this is applied to the envelope detector, or this is applied to the receiver of the AM. Now before that, so what is the before applying to the receiver, you must calculate two powers. What are they? Signal power and noise power. Okay. So what is signal power? What is the power of the signal? That is 1 by 2 into 1 plus mu square by 2. So anybody, can you tell me the calculations? Is it right or not? Okay. So actually, so what is the power of the signal? Anybody, please. What is the transmitted power of AM signal? Anyone, please. I'm asking, what is the transmitted power of AM signal if that is a single tone signal, single tone modulation? What is the formula? Anyone, please? What is PT equal to? There we have used the notation PT to represent transmitted signal power of AM for a single tone modulation. What I'm asking is, what is the formula PT in case of AM? Anyone, please? Please answer me.
PC into 1 plus mu square by 2.
What is PC?
Power of carrier signal, sir.
How much?
AC square by 2.
So here SI equal to AC square by 2 into 1 plus mu square by 2. But what is AC? 1. So I am writing that's why equal to 1 by 2, 1 plus mu square by 2. Is it okay, all of you? So I have done, I missed some of these little bit steps. I hope you are okay with this. Okay. Now this is the signal power at the input to the receiver. All of you, is it okay? Yes or not? You do some simple calculations. So there we have seen PT equal to PC into 1 plus mu square by 2, but PC equal to AC square by 2 into 1 plus mu square by 2, but AC equal to 1. That's why PT equal to here SI equal to 1 by 2, 1 plus mu square by 2. Okay. Now that is what the input signal power at the input of the receiver. What the noise power will be? Can anybody tell me what is the noise power at the input of the receiver? Would you answer? Please. Anyone? That is very simple, no? What is the noise power at the input of the receiver? Who will tell me the answer? I am asking, what is the noise power? What is the power of the signal? Otherwise, what is the power of Ni of t? Otherwise, what is Ni square bar equal to?
2 eta omega.
2 eta W. Okay. Now, so that are simple calculations. Now, Y of t equal to, now what I am doing is, I am writing 1 plus mu cos 2 pi fmt cos omega ct plus NC of t cos omega ct plus NS of t sin omega ct as, you can write these two as a combination, right? I am writing 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi fmt into cos omega ct plus NS of t sin omega ct. So can you please verify this, whether it is correct or not, please, all of you. I am just doing some simple calculations. I am simplifying this. I am combining cos omega ct common here also cos omega ct common. I am writing these two as a combination. So this is 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi fmt cos omega ct plus NS of t sin omega ct. Is it okay, all of you? So are you able to follow this or not? Please. See, there will be some simple calculations. So to understand those calculations, I need your complete attention. Okay. So please focus on the steps. So there is nothing to be worried. It's not a big deal at all. You just focus the steps. Okay. Now, but so you know already. So we are applying this to the what? ED. ED means envelope detector. So what is job of ED? It has to extract the given input signal, or it has to follow the envelope of the given signal. Okay, that is the job of the ED. You give whatever signal, it has to follow the envelope of that particular signal. So in the assignment there is a question, correct? So I hope it is for SSB. So they are asking if the SSB is given to ED, what is the output? Okay, so it will not be 0 actually. Okay, you just try to solve it. So ED is a general device. simple device whose output is equal to or proportional to envelope of the given input signal. Okay. Now, so let us take a hint. I am giving a hint. A cos theta plus B sin theta can be written as square root of A square plus B square into cos theta minus alpha, where alpha equal to tan inverse B by A. This is simple trigonometry identity. I hope you know this. Please, anyone? So the trigonometric identity which is shown in the box is very familiar to you. I hope you have seen this already. Please answer me, yes or not. A cos theta plus B sin theta equal to square root of A square plus B square into cos theta minus alpha, where alpha equal to tan inverse B by A. Please just tell me whether you have seen this trigonometry identity earlier or not. Please say yes or not.
Not, sir.
No? So have you not seen this kind of trigonometric earlier? Please answer me. Please say yes or no. No problem.
No, sir.
No. So see, this is there is simple logic here. A cos theta plus B sin theta. Here theta, here also theta. Okay. Now here A is a constant, B also some kind of constant generally, or otherwise the parameter of cos theta is A and parameter of cos sin theta is B. Okay. Now here, so theta is common, here also theta is common, here cos theta, here sin theta. Okay. So here A, here is B. That equal to square root of A square plus B square cos theta minus alpha, where alpha equal to tan inverse B by A. Suppose if I ask you, so what is cos theta plus sin theta equal to now? So if I say cos theta plus sin theta means A equal to 1, B equal to 1. Then what happens? Cos theta plus sin theta equal to square root of 1 plus 1. Because A equal to 1, B equal to 1. Root 2 cos theta minus alpha. But what is alpha equal to? Tan inverse B by A. Here A equal to 1, B equal to 1. Means tan inverse 1. How much is tan inverse 1? I by 4. Okay. It becomes, so cos theta plus sin theta equal to root 2 cos theta minus pi by 4. So that's how we can write. Okay. So whenever there is cos term and sin term, you can write it is only in terms of cos theta. Okay. If there is a something like cos theta plus sin theta, that can be written as only in terms of cos theta. What is that equal to? Cos theta plus sin theta equal to root 2 cos theta minus pi by 4. Okay. If we have a cos theta plus sin theta, that can be written only in terms of, otherwise you can think of like that. So this is a rectangular form, that is a polar form. You know what is rectangular form, what is a polar form? Okay. Suppose we have a I plus j, that is a rectangular form. What the polar form will be? Can you tell me what is I plus j polar form? Anyone? In the polar form, what do you have generally? You will be having a magnitude and you will be having a phase. So can anybody tell me what is a polar form of I plus j? Please. See, so in the vectors form, you can write in the calci also, there is a conversion. Rectangular form to polar form to rectangular form. All the things will be there. Do you know or not at least? Please answer me.
Yes, sir.
Then same thing, no? Suppose tell me, what is I plus j polar form?
One plus j, sir.
1 plus j.
Under root 2 angle of pi by 4, sir.
Yeah, it is also same thing. So I plus j, no, you are taking i's magnitude 1, j magnitude 1, square root of 1 plus 1, root 2. What is the angle? Tan inverse j by I. Yes or not? In the same way, tan inverse b by I here. So they're similar. You can take some kind of analogy. Okay. So it is rectangular form to polar form. Some kind of analogy, I can say. Okay. Anyway, now here, why it is required to us? First of all, why? Because here input to the ED is yi of t. What is input to the ED? Yi of t. But what is the job of ED? ED means what? Envelope detector. It detects envelope, or it detects the magnitude of the given input signal. Okay. So yeah, that's why it is very, very essential to know what is the magnitude of this yi of t. Okay. So that's why I am using this trigonometric identity. Okay. Now here, now how to write yi of t? Can you tell me? Here also we have cos omega ct and sin omega ct. Please. Okay. Same thing is there. So cos theta here there, sin theta is there. Here also we have cos omega ct, sin omega ct. You can say theta equal to how much? Omega ct. Okay. But what is A? A is 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi f mt. Here what is B? Ns of t. Are you following or not? I am comparing A cos theta plus B sin theta with yi of t. You compare these two. Here theta equal to how much? Omega ct. What is A? What is A here? 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi f mt. Here what is B? Ns of t. Is it okay? Now, so here yi of t can be written as what? Ei of t cos omega ct plus theta of t, which means I am writing. So Ei of t is nothing but some kind of magnitude cos theta minus alpha or theta minus something. So the same yi of t is written like this. Why? Because here yi of t like this. What is yi of t? 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi mt into cos omega ct plus ns of t into sin omega ct. Now same thing is being written in this form. Using what identity? What hint? This hint. Okay? Is it clear? Now can you tell me what is Ei of t? Who will tell the answer? Please. So if you are following my class, this is not a big deal. Now who will tell the answer? What is Ei of t? Please tell me the answer. Okay. Okay. I'm showing everything here. Okay. Now tell me. At least tell me now. Here, so here A and B are happy to be constant, but in reality they need not be constant. They are simply you can say the term of cos theta. Whatever is there to the left side of cos theta is called A. Whatever is there to the left side of sin theta is called B. That's it. They need not be constant. Okay. Now tell me at least. What is Ei of t? What is that?
Envelope, sir.
Now what is that equal to? So envelope is nothing but some kind of magnitude. What is that? Square root of a square plus b square, no?
Yes, sir.
What is A?
1
1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi mt whole square plus ns of t whole square. Is it clear? Here, what is theta of t?
Tan
Who will tell
inverse
the
of
answer? Tan inverse of ns of t by 1 plus NC of t plus mu cos 2 pi mt. Okay, because I am not writing theta of t because that is not important to us. Okay, why? Because what is the reason? Envelope will only related to amplitude, not phase. Okay. Anyway, if you want, you can write this. What is theta of t also? But anyway, so this is envelope because so ED is only for envelope. Okay. Now, so please remember, input to the ED is yi of t, that is equal to ei of t cos omega ct plus theta of t. But what is the envelope of the signal? Ei of t. What is that equal to? This much. Now, so here we take some assumption. What we take is, let us take noise is very, very small. What assumption? We assume that noise is small. Okay, means, so here actually what we assume is, so this component is more than ns of t, or further I can say 1 plus nc of t plus mu cos 2 pi mt is much more than ns of t. Here, so in the envelope we have two kind of signals. One is message signal, another one is noise signal. Okay, but here let us take small noise assumption. Let us assume that noise is small, which means so that this term is much more than this term. Simply, the first term is much more than the second term. The first term is much more than the second term. So in that scenarios, obviously, generally what we do, we neglect second term because it is very small compared to the first term. Then what happens? I am neglecting the second term because so I am assuming that mass is small. So this is what I am left with. Okay. Now, so even here what happens now? Whole square, square root, they do cancel with each other. Okay. Please remember. So what is the output of ED? What is that? Actually, that is a envelope of the signal. Means so ei of t will be the output of the ED. Okay. Agreed or not? Now this is ei of t is approximated value. 1 plus nc of t plus mu cos 2 pi mt, that equal to 1 plus mu cos 2 pi mt plus nc of t. Now at the output side, these are the signals that are present. Now here also you have a signal component and you have a noise component. Is it okay? Now what is signal power and what is the noise power? Now tell me. Will tell me the answer. So here let us take noise power first. So what is the power of nc square bar? 2 eta w, because I told you already. So the power of na square bar equal to nc square bar equal to ns square bar equal to 2 eta w. Okay. So what is SI by eta omega gamma? That equal to you know what is SI? Input to the receiver. How much is that? I told you just now. This is SI. What is SI? 1 by 2, 1 plus mu square by 2. So 1 by 2, 1 plus mu square by 2 into eta w. Okay. So this is SI by eta w. Correct? Now, so let us go to the output signal power. So here tell me what output signal power? This is output signal. What is the power of the signal? What is that? Suppose if I ask you, what is the power of 2 cos omega t? Please tell me the answer. What is the power of 2 cos omega t? Please answer me.
2, sir.
2. Now what is the power of 1 plus 2 cos omega t? Are you getting my question or not? I am asking what is the power of 1 plus 2 cos omega t? Tell me the answer. What is that? That is also same. Here, so what is the power of 1 plus mu cos 2 pi fmt? Otherwise, what is the power of mu cos 2 pi fmt? Please answer me. What is the power of mu cos 2 pi fmt?
Mu square by 2.
Mu square by 2. So anyway, this one term will be removed, no? Using low pass filters, they will be removed. Now, so this is the output signal power, approximately equal to mu square by 2. Okay. Now, so what output noise power? What is noise component that is present in the output side? NC of t. So what is n square bar? That equal to 2 eta w. N naught equal to NC square bar equal to 2 eta w. Okay. So output signal power equal to mu square by 2. Please remember, your output signal power is not equal to 1 plus mu square by 2. Okay. So here, please make a note of this. Here, so here, if the signal is 1 plus mu into cos 2 pi ft into cos omega ct, then the power of the signal is 1 by 2 into 1 plus mu square by 2. Please. Here at the input side, the signal component is 1 plus mu cos 2 pi fmt into cos omega ct. Then the power will be 1 by 2 into 1 plus mu square by 2. But here at the output side, the signal component is 1 plus mu into cos 2 pi fmt. There is no cos omega ct term. Okay, otherwise simply the output is mu cos 2 pi fmt if you remove this DC term. So the output at the output of the receiver, the signal component that is present is mu cos 2 pi fmt, whose power will be mu square by 2. Simple. Noise power will be power of NC of t that equal to 2 eta w. Now what the output SNR will be? S naught by N naught that is equal to mu square by 2 NC square bar that equal to mu square by 4 eta omega. Okay? Is it okay, all of you? Please. If it is okay, I'll proceed, please. If any doubts, you can ask me now itself. Is it okay, all of you? You got a difference? Please. So this is SI by eta omega. Why? Because it is gamma. Gamma is always SI by eta W. Sorry. Okay. So we know already SI. What is SI? 1 by 2, 1 plus mu square by 2, and eta omega is eta omega only. Is it okay or not? Right? Now this output SNR, that is mu square by 4 eta omega. Now, so here I want to write S naught by N naught equal to some K into gamma. You know what is gamma? You know what is S naught by N naught? Then what is K? Who will tell the answer, please? Now I want to know what is K. Please, you tell me the answer now. You compare these two. Gamma equal to 1 by 2 eta omega into 1 plus mu square by 2. S naught by N naught equal to mu square by 4 eta omega. Now I want to write S naught by N naught equal to some K into gamma. Now for that, what should be the value of K? Who will tell the answer? To find out. Please. Everything is there in front of you. I am asking what is K? Should tell me the answer. Otherwise, I cannot proceed further. Anyone, please tell me the answer. I told you, please keep a pen and paper with you. Please, anybody answer me. Gamma equal to 1 by 2 eta omega into 1 plus mu square by 2. S naught by N naught equal to mu square by 4 eta W. Now compare these two. I want to write S naught by N naught equal to some K into gamma. For that, what should be the value of K? It just, simple.
Sir.
Tell me.
Mu square by 2 by 1 plus mu square by 2.
Mu square by,
Mu
tell me,
square,
come again please.
mu square by 2 whole by 1 plus mu square by 2.
You simplify that. What do you get? Mu square by 2 plus mu square.
Yes, sir.
Is it right?
Yes, sir.
What you are telling is mu square by 2 by 1 plus mu square by 2, right? So that is same as mu square by 2 plus mu square. All of you. Is it okay or not? Now actually what is that? What is mu square by 2 plus mu square? What is that? In case of AM, what is that actually? Anyway, so S naught by N naught equal to mu square by 2 plus mu square into gamma. This is what final SNR of the AM system. But you must remember what is the assumption? If the noise is very, very small. Okay, so that is the final SNR. If noise is very, very large, which means, so if this term is much, much smaller than this term, output equal to total noisy with no component proportional to M of T. Which means you don't get any proper output if the noise is very, very large in case of AM. Okay. So this is about the effect of noise in the amplitude modulation signals. Now, so to summarize, so what is the S naught by N naught of DSBSC? Who will tell me the answer? Gamma. Okay. So let us go to the back sides. So let us take all at one time. So S naught by N naught, this is for what case? DSBSC. Am I right? Sorry, where is DSBSC? For DSBSC, S naught by N naught equal to gamma. Gamma equal to Si by eta omega, eta W. This is for DSBSC. S naught by N naught equal to gamma. Next, for SSB, S naught by N naught equal to Si by eta W equal to still equal to gamma. Please remember gamma equal to Si by eta W. It can be any modulation. Actually, gamma is nothing to do with the modulation. Why? Because what is gamma? It is a output SNR of a baseband system. What is the baseband? Without modulation. So gamma is always equal to Si by eta W. So here S naught by N naught equal to Si by eta W equal to gamma. Now in case of VSB also, S naught by N naught equal to Si by eta W equal to gamma, approximately equal to gamma. Now in three cases, DSBSC, SSB, VSB, output SNR is equal to gamma, equal to Si by eta W. Okay. But in case of AM only, that is not exactly equal to gamma, that equal to what? Mu square by 2 plus mu square into gamma. You got a difference? Now we are writing output SNR in terms of gamma only. That's why gamma is called benchmark, or it is called input SNR, or it is also called baseband SNR. Okay, so that is importance of gamma, right? Now here, so what is mu square by 2 plus mu square? Actually, it is the power efficiency of AM signal. What the power efficiency means? Useful power by total power. What is the useful power? Power in sidebands by total power. What is the power in sidebands? I mean transmitted power. That is PC into 1 plus mu square by 2 by total power. Sorry, power in sidebands by total power. What is power in sidebands? PC into mu square by 2 by total power. PC into 1 plus mu square by 2. You have done all these things. Okay. So it is nothing but power efficiency into gamma. This is what we have. But so if in AM, if noise is very, very large, okay, so the output will be total noisy. Okay, so your message will be buried in the noise. Okay, so this is assumption we have taken, but please make a note of these things also. They are very, very important. Okay, so in the next class, we'll study the effect of noise in angle modulated signal. Angle means we are studying about FM and PM. So if you have any doubts in this noise performances, please ask me. We are running out of time. Any doubts? So if there are no doubts, we'll stop here. Okay, right. Thank you.